Yo, what's going on, my people? It's your boy Chris and we're back. So today I want to talk about the needs of the beginner artist and specifically how to kind of get into the art space on a budget or with cheaper tools that if you're an intermediate or a beginner artist, that this may kind of apply to you in some way, shape, or form. I'm gonna kind of go into what I use to start out and kind of what the tools were that I used throughout my career as an artist, and I can kind of just share with you some things and insights that I've come to find out about these tools, as well as some knowledge / wisdom, if you want to call it that, on kind of some myths that I've heard about pen tablets or art programs, and like, you know, you need this kind of art program or art tablet to be this kind of an artist. And I'm gonna be debunking all of that because honestly I have some thoughts, and I'll also be wrapping in a Parblo Intangbo SW tablet review into the back end of this video and give my honest thoughts on that, because that is a tablet that is geared more towards beginners, and I think what they're doing is great, and I do want to kind of shed light on it. But without further ado, again, what are the needs of a beginner artist? And I think a question that, you know, is obviously going to be important as a beginner artist is to kind of ask yourself, what are your needs? Which again, that's kind of, you know, the point of this video, but like, what specifically are you doing with art? How much experience do you have with art? And like, how much money / equipment do you need to produce the product you're trying to produce? I actually got a comment that kind of asked me about that, and I wanted to kind of shed light on it. And that's a valid question, right? You know, as an artist, especially if you're like just starting out, you might only have just like a pen and paper. And I think honestly that's gonna be the best go-to. Like, if not just having a sketchbook, just a pen and paper. I've filled out, you know, a lot of sketchbooks before I got my first art tablet. And I'll go into that a little bit later, but I think that pen and paper is super duper solid when you're just starting out. You don't want to put such a big investment into something that you're not sure about yet. So I think starting out with literally as basic materials as you can is going to 100% be the way to go. Learn to love the process, learn to love drawing, sketching, getting your ideas down on paper, and you know, failing, and also, you know, having fun too on sheets of paper, and in being able to look back on it, you know, in a sketchbook form. In my opinion, I'm so glad that I documented my journey through these sketchbooks, because they've definitely played a role in how my art kind of, I guess, evolved over time. You know, like I needed to kind of get that experience with the pen and paper, being able to draw on pen and paper to kind of shape how I draw digitally, right? And that'll make sense, you know, kind of later down the line. But yeah, like I think price point wise, you're not gonna be at pen and paper. You know, you're talking about maybe $5, if that, $2 for both, right? So 100%, I say start with that if you're a beginner. That is going to get you a lot of mileage. Honestly, you don't need anything else outside of those two things. But you know, if we're talking about just bare minimum to get started, but those two things I think would be great starting points to get started. But say, hey, I already have, you know, the pen and paper stuff. I want to migrate over to digital art realm. I want to learn about drawing programs, drawing tablets, equipment, all of that stuff that I would need to kind of, you know, say make, I don't know, animations or web comics or games, or, you know, game art or whatever, right? Like, you're gonna have to start investing some money to kind of get those things, which I kind of want to break down in kind of a way to where it makes the most sense for a beginner to tackle what they should kind of get, right? So before I even get into that conversation though, I want to really quick just touch upon a myth that I've heard for so long that I think is echoed by people who just don't use these kind of tablets, or maybe used it once or twice and just didn't like the experience. So like, yeah, I'm just not into those kind of tablets, right? So pen tablets versus display tablets, right? And obviously there's gonna be like groups of people who are like, you know, on both sides, but I know a lot of artists, especially ones who've never used digital, are gonna be like, oh wait, I can't use a pen tablet, I need a display tablet because I can't look up while I draw. And even some digital artists are like that, and they just kind of brainwash themselves into believing that that's literally the only thing they can draw on to make digital art. I'm here to tell you, you're just telling yourself that. A lot of people, I think, adopt this mindset because, number one, it's hand-eye coordination, right? And it's like, it's not like it's a super tough barrier to like draw on. I think it's a matter of just the time investment to just get used to the pen tablet, for instance, right? So for me, when I started out, I had a Wacom Intuos, right? That's probably about as basic as a drawing tablet can get. Maybe like only 4 buttons to, like, you know, program to your shortcuts, and then you had your pen, and then it just connected to the computer. And that was a pen tablet, and I wanted to let you guys know that I was on that thing like white on rice. I did not give that thing a break. I used that until I could not use it anymore. It served me very well. I will say that it took me about maybe it took me about maybe a day and a half, 2 days to get used to the hand-eye coordination. And this is me of just like straight drawing on it, doing nothing else but drawing. To even be more specific, I wanted to make a webcomic. And I'm not going to go into what that webcomic is because my God, I want to forget about it. But I was making a webcomic on there. And I was like, man, okay, I don't know what I'm doing on this tablet, but I'm going to make this webcomic and I'll get used to things as I go. That was the easiest way for me to get used to the tablet. And I think, again, it just comes down to like getting used to it, because yeah, I had the jitters too when I was drawing and looking up. I'm like, oh wait, this is odd because I'm not used to this. But once you get used to it, it's almost the same thing as if you're drawing on a display tablet where you're looking directly at where you're drawing. It's just a matter of, feeling it out and getting used to it. So I think the myth that like, oh my gosh, like certain people can use pen tablets, certain people can't. No, everyone can use it. It's just a matter of getting used to what you're looking at and, just building up the slight hand-eye coordination you might need to use a tablet. And if you've only used it for a couple of days, couple of weeks, and you're saying, yeah, it's not for me, I would implore you to give it a little bit more of a shot before saying you can't use it, because hey, you never know. But that's what I started out with, the Wacom Intuos. Great tablet. Used it for the first 4 years of my digital art career. So we're talking 2016 to 2020. And the price point was about $50, I believe. It may have been $59, but $50 for a tablet like that, which I got to be honest, you're just not beating that really. That it's a very, very good tablet for what it's priced at. And I think that's the biggest benefit of the pen tablet is the price point. If you want a low stress, low risk way of entering the digital art realm for an art tablet, and you're looking for an art tablet, I would 100% use a pen tablet first. Break yourself into just getting used to the programs you're going to use, and get some experience before you like just go straight to like what the professionals use. Because I mean, I'm almost positive that most professionals have started out with pen tablets, or at least tablets that were not the Wacom Cintiq, or the Huion display tablets. Like a lot of people, they start off with these very tablets that are more so geared for folks who don't have the budget for those super expensive OLED display tablets. The tablet is geared more towards for the consumer and people who just want to try things out and get some experience, which I'm a very big proponent of. Just get the experience first and work with what you have, work with what you have. So I 100% recommend getting a pen tablet to start out if you're new to digital art. The hump is going to be there in terms of getting used to the hand-eye coordination when you're drawing, but it is not as scary as people are trying to make it out to be. So I just want to throw that out there before I even get into drawing programs. But yeah, when we're talking about drawing programs, I like to keep it very simple too. In terms of what I use now, I use Procreate and I use Clip Studio, right? Procreate if I have my iPad, Clip Studio if I'm on my Wacom 1. But when I first started out, when I just had my computer and my Wacom Intuos, I had Fire Alpaca. That was a free art program. And I believe there are other free art programs. I believe Paint Toolside is free that I use that, I just wanted to learn how the digital realm worked. Like, Control Z, I did not know that was a thing for like the first year of me making, stuff. So you learn kind of the lay of the land for all of these programs by breaking yourself in with a free program if you've never used a program before. Now, if you have the money for it, sure, go Clip Studio, but I definitely don't think it's necessary to start out paying money for an art program when you're new to art. I would say get something that you're comfortable with and work from there. Like I said, for me, it was Fire Alpaca. It had everything I needed at the time. I was able to create animations, webcomics, illustrations, no problem. Now, obviously, that was the quality of those is dictated more so by my skill and experience level than the actual program itself. But that's kind of the point with these videos that I'm trying to make, is that you don't necessarily need the top of the line high-end tools to create good art. That's such a big myth that I want to debunk. And if there's anything that I want you to get out of this video, is that you don't need these display tablets, these iPads, these super fancy technology. Like, cause I didn't need that. It's like eventually when I got the experience, and then also my nibs on my Wacom Intuos, just we wrote it off, and it's like, okay, yeah, I need something new, and it's like, let me get something nice for myself since I've been saving up. But like, I didn't start off with that, and if you're a beginner, I implore you to not just go straight to the top of the line if you don't have to yet. See if you like the pen tablet stuff first, because you never know, you might get used to it and that might be your go-to thing. Like me and my Wacom Intuos, we're best friends, right? We're best friends for real. But that aside, drawing programs, get something for free or get something that's super duper cheap. Procreate, if you have an iPad, right? If you're fortunate enough to just get an iPad off the gate and an Apple Pen, Procreate is like $15 now. I think it was like $12 when I got it, but like, $15 or $20, and then that's it. Amazing software. I would 100% recommend that. Clip Studio, I believe, is 50 or so, but I have EX, so that was a bit more. But you don't have to go Clip Studio if you don't need to. Like if you're just looking to start off with art, go with something for free and see where you're at from there, right? And yeah, that's kind of what I have to say about like drawing programs. Like just make sure that you don't want to overwhelm kind of what you're trying to do. A lot of beginner art programs are fairly simple, and they're kind of simple for a reason because there's not too many things to keep track of. With Clip Studio Paint, I mean, even me as an experienced artist, I walked into Clip Studio Paint because I only started using it like the past 3 weeks. I walked into Clip Studio Paint and absolutely was intimidated because like so many things going on. Not even to say that I like couldn't edit things around to make it a little bit more simple, but there's just so many things about the program that it takes a minute to learn. Whereas something like Fire Alpaca, when I was able to boot it up and figure things out pretty fast off of like one tutorial, I was pretty straight for like a good 6 months. So I just want to implore everyone to, hey, you don't need a top of the line to create great work, but hey, like you are paying for what you get, so I guess do keep that in mind as well. So with that being said, what I have here is the Intangbo SW wireless graphic drawing tablet that was sent by Parblo, thank you, and I want to kind of review it in a way to where if you're a beginner looking to get into digital art, you can get my honest reaction and first time impressions on this tablet to see, hey, if this is like worth what you're paying for. So the Intangbo SW, my experience, it's been super lightweight, which is really good because it doesn't require too big of a setup. I was able to just unbox it, pop it into my computer. It worked out the gate, but I did need to download a driver for the pressure sensitivity on the pen and other features. So I downloaded the driver and I was able to use it, and I'd say on first time impression, because it's been like a minute since I used pen tablets, I can't sit here and act like it wasn't a little bit of a challenge to just break myself back in to using a pen tablet after like not using one for, oh my god, like 3.5-4 years. But I was able to do it in about 2 hours or so, and then I started on my illustration that you're going to be seeing in this video, right? What I'll say about the Parblo Intangbo SW is that once I got used to it, it did remind me a lot of my Wacom days, and I was glued to my Wacom in 2.0. I loved it. It was like my child in terms of their pen tablets. Is hey, this is lightweight and it's Bluetooth, right? And I'd say overall the drawing experience, while I think I could have done with a little bit more space on my specific tablet that I was sent, the actual drawing experience itself was not bad at all. The pressure resistance when I put the pen to the tablet was great. It was there, had no issues, kind of trying to draw the line that I wanted to draw, especially when I had all my stabilization settings and stuff in Clip Studio set. It was pretty much seamlessly like, it was like working on my Wacom 1, except I was using my computer as the display instead of, the actual tablet itself as the display. And it didn't really bother me too much that I was working on a pen tablet, I would expect to experience a little bit more frustration, kind of going from that jump from, looking at my screen to not looking at my screen. But surprisingly, it wasn't that bad for me. And I don't know if it's because I've used pen tablets before and I know that they're great, or if it's just one of those things where, I just adapt really fast. But I have a feeling that, it's partially just because, I've used these before and I know how they work. But yeah, I just want to say that, again, when it comes down to the quality of the work that you're going to receive with these tablets, it virtually is the same. I don't think you're going to have a big quality drop off if you use a pen tablet versus a drawing tablet. What I will say though, I do get questioning whether or not like the tablet is holding you back in certain ways, right? And that kind of goes back to, again, the spacing thing for me. Like there were times where I wanted to draw like wider sweeps that I couldn't do because, the tablet size was just really small. And that's kind of like where my kind of issue kind of comes in, is the size, which I do believe they have different sizes for their tablets. So that may not be an issue if you get a bigger size, but just for me, I prefer to have a bigger drawing space with my tablets, regardless, or with my drawing pads, whether it's a pen tablet or a screen tablet, right? So just wanted to throw that out there, that there are some limitations, but it's not as though like they're going to hinder your ability to draw. Most people, I think they have it in their head that, if they just get a certain kind of equipment, then they're going to just magically produce insane level artworks. And while I do think equipment can aid in making better art pieces, ultimately it's still going to come down to your skill, what your fundamentals are looking like, how long you've been drawing, and how serious you are about art, and all of that jazz. Like, it's going to come down to those first before the tablet. So I just want that to kind of be something that's in the back of folks' minds when they're making the decision to either jump all the way to the top and get some $600-$700 tablet, or if they want to start with the $59 tablet, which is what this Parblo Intangbo is. So I just wanted to kind of shed light on it. Overall, I'd say my experience, and again, I don't do tablet reviews, I'm not a tablet review channel, but in general, just with my experience with the tablet, I'd say I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10 in terms of just beginner level. If I want to get into the art realm and I want to try something out in the digital space, this is a perfect tablet to do that. The only reason I didn't rank it higher, again, is just because of the spacing for the tablet, like this actual drawing space. But the tablet itself, I mean, you're getting all of the features that the Wacom Intuos gave. But you're getting more buttons to program your shortcuts. You're getting this zoom in scroll bar, and you're also getting the Bluetooth functionality. So I think that that's a really great trade for $59. So what you're seeing in the background is my drawing using the Parblo Intangbo SW. It's just a little funny illustration of me fighting my demons, so to speak. That's just me punching art block and punching, or waiting to fight pretty much all of those distractions in the background, right? Vacation, video games, fast food, just all sorts of just things that take away from art, right? So with that being said, that's kind of all I have for this video. Just kind of wanted to get on here and give my honest thoughts. The Parblo Intangbo is a good tablet. I'm super thankful for the folks over at Parblo for sending me this tablet and let me check it out. And yeah, if you want to learn more about the tablet, check the link in the description. I'll take you to the website, and that'll show you all of what you need to know if you are planning on getting a tablet like this. But yeah, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out. I appreciate you guys for sticking with me through this video. Studies will be posted on Sunday at 12 as always. Appreciate you guys for continuing to vibe with me on this channel. I appreciate it, for real. I'll be back real soon with some more content for you guys, but I'm gonna go ahead and get up out. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, night, or whatever. It's been your boy Chris, and I'm gonna holler at you on the next one. Peace.